this is an oxidized documentation for the Google Reviews widget created for Oxygen Builder. If you're looking to display up-to-date Google reviews from a specific place or location, say you're a business, a company, or building a website for a business or company, you want to display reviews, this is the widget to do it for you in Oxygen Builder. The first step is to install the widget. When you purchase on oxidized.com or oxidized.co, you will get a download. Within that download, it's a zip file. These codes will be contained. You simply copy these codes, so all of these codes, everything in between start and end, and then paste it into the site. This works natively if you own Hydrogen Pack and have that installed. If you do not own Hydrogen Pack, you need to install a third-party plugin to paste into your page. This plugin is called Hydrogen Copy Paste. Search for it in the WordPress plugin repository, install it on the site, and then Control-V or Command-V directly into whatever page you want to install it on. So I've copied those shortcodes. I have Hydrogen Pack installed on the site. I've selected the section that I want to paste my Google Reviews widget into, and I'm just going to do Control-V. This is going to paste in our Reviews widget, and we can see right here everything has been pasted in correctly. So this widget contains two different things, a code block and the actual feed. This feed, the one thing we need to do is update it to have a unique ID. So we're going to change this ID from whatever was assigned to it when installed to Google Reviews. So that's ID has been changed, and we'll double check that that's the actual ID that needed to be changed here by going to PHP HTML, and then you can see it says Google Reviews. So the first step is to change the reviews feed after installing to the ID. The next step is to install your Google Places API key. This is a demo API key that's going to be removed when you install it on your own site. So it's going to look like this. You need to generate a Google Places API key linked in the description of this video, and the written documentation also linked in the description of this video is information on how to create your Places API key. Then you'll see that with this demo place ID, everything should be working on the front end. So I'm going to save this, and we're going to open up a new front end tab as soon as this ends up saving, and check to see that everything is properly installed. This placeholder place ID is the place ID of the White House. So we're going to get reviews for the White House, and it did not update. So let's make sure it does update. Well, it's a different reviews that I set, but you can see that everything's working well. The next step after installing your Places API key is to install your Place ID, or to set your Place ID. And the Place ID is the unique ID that Google has assigned to your business. So you're trying to pull in business reviews, you need to find your business Place ID. And here you can see this is actually the ID that is showing right now. White House Fashion Place in Sydney, Institute of Design. So let's just assume that we have a business location in Chicago. So let's say Bagels. There we go. It would be nice if I could spell. So we're going to just search for our business location, either the actual address or the name of the company. And we're going to just copy and paste this place ID. And it's important, number one, you need actual Google reviews to get this, and it's also important that you get the proper business location, and linked in the description is the actual interface that we use to do this. You can just search up Places ID Finder for Google, and this will pop up. So you enter everything into here, you get your Place ID, and you head on back, and you change the Place ID from what the placeholder is. Click Apply. What I'm doing here is I'm clicking Apply Code, then just save. And then you're good to go on the front end. Your places will be updated with the most recent. So here we can see there are two reviews associated with this bagel place in Chicago. So that's really all you need to do to get the Places ID working. There are a couple other things that I'm going to write about in the written description, but you can also change the header. So right now it's a H2 tag that says Google Reviews. You can change that to whatever you want by changing this. You can also add footer text. You can add the maximum number of rows that show. You can set the minimum rating. So right now it's at 4, so it will show 4-star reviews and up. If you want to show 3-star reviews and up, you can do that. If you want to show all of them, you can do that too. Shorten names is set to true. Then these more review buttons, more review labels, I'm going to write about in the written documentation on how you can set that up. If you paste in a specific URL, you can set up a button that will show more reviews, more URLs for those reviews, and make it just easier for customers to get to. So that's how you install it. A really quick recap is copy and paste the hydrogen shortcodes directly into the page. Change the ID of the Google Reviews feed to Google Reviews. Go right here, change your ID. We'll add in the API key. It's not going to show on the installation that you get. And then change your place ID by searching for the place ID under the Google Maps utility. Copy and paste that and just paste it into the page, and then you're good to go. You can display your places just like that. One additional thing is that we have custom CSS here that is created to display the reviews in a responsive fashion, and you can see it's fairly simple to understand code. It's also fairly simple to edit. So here you can change it to a grid display. One other thing we can do is remove this styling that's associated with this div right here, because it's the ID Google Reviews and your CSS is ID Google Reviews. We can remove that and we can use native Oxygen features such as the CSS grid that's coming in 3.7. So right now I have the beta version installed. If I removed all the associated styling, I could probably set up CSS grid to display my columns in or my reviews in a column count, something like that. So just something you can expand upon. The installation process is pretty easy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Oxidize.co/contact. There's a live chat. My team or I will respond to you as soon as possible and get you up and running. 3 months of installation support. Very low cost way to get Google Reviews into your Oxygen builder. Okay, that's that.